took a piece of clay and put it on one of the first machines, the potter's wheel, and formed from it the first robot. And he brought him to life with his divine breath and called him man. And he created him in his own image as an artificial god.
I found a book called Mathematical Biophysics in Widener Library, and this was a wonderful book of essays by a scientist named Nicholas Reshevsky.
And the artificial god, man, soon dreamed of becoming a real god, and he created many machines in his own image, which combined were supposed to become an artificial man. And he worked on this project for thousands of years.
This was just...
universes, and it seems to me that there's one possibility that is so simple that people don't discuss it, because certainly a question that occurs in all religions is who created the universe and why, and what's it for. And one thing that preoccupies me a little bit is the question of why do things exist? And I think the answer is that that's an extra hypothesis that doesn't make any sense. You see, it's all right to say does this class of water exist? But if you ask, does X exist? That means, is X one of the things in the universe? So to say that the universe exists is silly, because it's saying the universe is one of the things in the universe. So there's something wrong with that idea. Well, if you carry that a little further, then it seems to me that it doesn't make any sense to have a predicate like, where did the universe come from, or why does it exist? So another view, which might be related to the famous many worlds theory, is that this is just a possible universe. And there are lots of possible universes, and there isn't any reason to say that this one is distinguished, except that we're in it. So if you think of a computer game or something like that, here's a little sequence of reductions. First, imagine that there's a computer that simulates some little world, and there are people in it, and the people are pretty smart. We'll talk about how they could get smart later. And after a while, one of the people asks the other, why are we in this world, and where did it come from? And of course, they're fooling themselves. There isn't any world. It's just a simulation. Somebody wrote the program. But if they got that far, then they could say, who wrote the program? Okay, now step two is, suppose somebody wrote the program and didn't run it. So there's no computer. Well, still, once you've written a program, and let's say a description of the computer it runs on, then everything that happens in that world is determined. And the computer and the program logically imply what people will be in it and what they'll do and what they'll ask. And so all of a sudden there doesn't have to be a program. It's just a possible computation. And then the next step is you don't even have to think of it. There is such a computation. So anyway, the question is, getting back to our universe, what's going on here? Why is the universe we're in the way it is, whether it exists or not? And now there's this famous thing called the anthropic principle, and some physicists take it seriously, and some think that there's something wrong with it and they shouldn't think that way. But clearly we couldn't ask that question unless our possible program